So we're about to do our stitch sampler on the Bernina machine. So you should have all cut out 2 pieces of the stitch sampler and you have your lines drawn. We're going to start from the left and work our way to the right. The first stitch we're going to do is just a regular straight stitch. And on this machine, you're going to have to really pay attention to the knobs and all of the things going on in this machine because it's not electric, it's not electronic. You have to tell it what you want it to do. So over here on the side is where most of the controls are. This bottom one you're going to just always leave in this knob is going to be turned to the green line, not the red line, the green one. And just leave this knob. You should hardly ever have to touch this bottom knob. Okay. The second one, this one controls the stitch length, how long your stitches are. And it will tell you on the side here, you can kind of read, this little dashed lines is talking about how long your stitches are. A regular stitch length for our first line is going, and anytime you sew on your apron, unless I specifically tell you to do a basting stitch, which is a long stitch, a regular stitch length is 2. So the way you do it is you just turn this knob until this little lever goes down to the, I'm going to turn this little knob until the lever goes to, whoops, got stuck. You're going to turn this knob until it goes to 2. Once this line lines up with the 2 line, then you know you are in a regular stitch length, okay? The other thing to be aware of is this knob is just for doing buttonholes, so you'll never need to touch this. Just make sure that it is lined up with 0 at all times and you'll never need to touch it. This one controls, there's 2 knobs here, and this one you can put it 0 for now, but this center one, it controls where your needle position is. You can see as I move it from left to right, my needle moves from left to right. The standard position for sewing is your needle in the center, and that is going to be like at a 2.5, just a straight up and down with this knob. Okay, so we're at 2, straight up and down, 2.5, everything else is in place. You should never touch this, that's why there's a big sticker here that says do not touch. This is thread tension and you will never need to worry about this. Just keep it in place. These ones at the top, we're going to talk about it a little bit later when we do some decorative stitches, but for this stitch we want it to be on the bottom lever at 1 and 2. So this is just regular stitching that we're doing and a regular zigzag, and then we get into all of our patterns later, but right now just keep it as is and we're ready to sew our first line. I have to remember.